and welcome back to my channel. So today I've decided that I'm going to be doing a laid back, probably very chatty, get ready with me. I've decided that I really want to show you my go-to makeup. So this would be the makeup that I would go to for maybe when I'm off to the office and I'm not working from home, maybe when I'm just out and about. The reason why I am really kind of enjoying this current makeup look is because it's easy, it's quick, but most importantly, I think it looks good. I think it looks great. It looks great. I'm just going to say it. If you can't be your number one supporter, who are you really? You know what I mean? So this makeup is just perfect if you're busy, you don't have much time in the morning, but you still want to look fabulous. Okay, so my favourite base product recently has been the Skin Paradise. I would probably describe this as being like a tinted moisturizer slash serum. It's kind of light to medium coverage. It has a beautiful, very natural, kind of dewy, very glowy, like it makes your skin look very healthy kind of finish. It's very light on the skin. It lasts really well, although I do feel like if you've got oily skin, this potentially may get a little bit oily. However, if you've got dry skin or normal skin, I think you would find this to be extremely hydrating. So I had this in the shade Light 01, which is the lightest shade. It contains SPF 20, which is fantastic. I know that a lot of people do say that unless it's an SPF 30, like what's the point? But for me, I just feel like good because I've got some SPF in there. Whether it's enough, I don't know, but there's some and I'm happy with that. So I do use my fingers just to apply this because it's such a kind of a light, liquidy kind of product. Like I would liken it to a serum or just like a very runny kind of a foundation. I just feel like it's best applied using your fingers. You will notice as well when the product first goes on, it does look kind of orange, and I would definitely say that is one negative about this product. Considering it is the lightest shade, I would probably prefer it wasn't so orange. So once it's all over my face, I do like to go in with a damp sponge just to kind of perfect it. I like to just finesse it, but as you can see, this is an extremely kind of, I would say dewy, but it's very fine line between dewy and like oily, or we're going to say glowy, but anyway, yeah, it's very glowy, like it really is. And I think now that the product has been blended into my skin, it doesn't look as orange, which is a definite phew moment, because I know you're probably thinking, oh my gosh, how is this going to work when I first applied it? But yeah, it does definitely like blend out, not as orange. Also, another thing to mention about this product, I've completely forgot what it was, but there was some, oh, that was it. Okay, thank you, memory, for joining us. I do find that you only need like a tiny bit because it spreads out really well. It does feel quite emollient. I feel like if it's quite easy to go in with too much of the product and then it's really difficult to actually get it blended out. So you only need like the tiniest amount of this product. So yeah, I just really love it. It's like my new favorite base product, and I would definitely recommend if you're a fan of a lighter, more natural base. If you're kind of like full coverage, like heavy, full on beat kind of person, then I don't think you would probably like this product. But I don't know, I feel like it would really suit either like younger people whose skin is just perfect and they don't need any coverage. Like I don't think anyone needs coverage. I think everyone looks great. You don't need to be covering anything, you know what I mean? But I think if you're really young, perfect skin, you don't need a heavy foundation. Or if you're a more mature individual and maybe you've got lines, you've got pores, you've got texture on your skin, then I think that this is a really flattering kind of complimentary product. It is very thin, so it just kind of, it makes your skin look better than it did before, but it doesn't look very obvious that you've got something on your face. Yeah, I'm gonna go with that. I'm going with that. It's kind of like you could look at me and think, is she wearing makeup or is she not? And most people probably know I was wearing makeup, in all honesty, but I just feel like it's just very natural, and I'm really into that natural look at the moment. She says now, watch, I probably end up putting way too much of everything on, and I'm going to look like a drag queen at the end of the video, but oh well. So next, because this product is quite, I don't want to say oily, I was almost about to say oily, but it does look quite oily. So I am going to lightly set it with a setting powder, and this one is by Charlotte Tilbury. I cannot say her name normally. So this is her magic powder. Ooh, Charlotte, you're doing magic now. You got a magic powder. What's magic about it, Charlotte? Does it magically make me look 18 again? Like, what does it do, Charlotte? It pisses me off that Charlotte will be magic powder. Oh, feck off, Charlotte. Jeez, she's so up herself. She really is. Okay, so I really, really love this powder. Like, it saves me after I've just taken the piss out of Charlotte Tilbury for the last couple of minutes. But no, I really do like the powder. It just looks really good on your face. It perfects everything. They say it minimises pores, and I actually think it doesn't minimise pores, but it just, I don't know, it makes your skin look a bit airbrushed. And that's what I've always wanted from a setting powder, but I've never got. Like, I was expecting so much from the Laura Mercier translucent powder, because everybody and their next door neighbour and their boss, probably their dentist, loved that powder. And I was expecting miracles, and it was just, I didn't really like it. Like, it didn't make my face look great. Whereas this magic powder, I do feel like it sets your face, but it doesn't add a lot of like powderness. It doesn't take away the glow. And it doesn't cause your base to look heavier than it did before, which a lot of setting powders have the tendency to do. So this is a Charlotte Tilbury, so it definitely does come with a Charlotte Tilbury price tag, but I would definitely say it's worth it, because it's going to take me like probably a year at least to use this up. So I would definitely recommend like spending a bit more to get a really good powder. I don't know. That's just my view. But you do you, girlfriend, like literally. So I don't really contour or add bronzer as part of my daily kind of makeup routine, because I just don't, I don't know, I just don't feel like it's part of my usual makeup routine. It's something that I tend to do when I'm making videos, just because I feel like it's going that extra mile. But in my kind of daily life, when I'm trying to get my makeup done, whilst trying to get the boys ready for school, whilst also trying to work and trying to stop the bunnies from chewing at all of our wallpaper, I just feel like the contour can be missed. So for that reason, I'm not going to be doing any contouring or bronzing today. We're going to move straight on to blush. But before we move on to blush, I'm going to set my face, which is something that I do every day, with the MAC Fix Plus. I have tried many other setting sprays, but none have actually come close to how much I like this. And I think part of the reason why I like it is because it's a little bit fancy, honestly. Like, I am going to admit it, it's a bit fancy, feels nice going on the face. Like, that's a whole experience in itself. Okay, so next we're going to go in with my all-time favourite blush, apart from Just a Wisp by MAC. So this is by the Haze to Beauty brand, and it's a mineralised blush in the shade Angelica. So I have raved about this like so much here on my channel, but it really is sensational. It's got this whole marbleized kind of look to it, and on the cheeks it just looks like peach perfection. It's super glowy. It just complements any look. I just think it's perfection. So I like to apply the blush in kind of circular motions. I try not to apply too much, but I always end up applying too much. So I like to focus it up on my temples more than the apples of my cheeks, because it gives a lifting look to the face. I also like to pop a little bit on my nose just to like bring everything in together. For a long time, like, I would wonder why YouTubers and Instagrammers would apply the blush to their nose, because I was like, oh my gosh, like, that's something new. But I actually think it does make a big difference, and it just like that brings your whole face together. And I hope you can see just how beautiful this blush is. It's sensational. Okay, so next for the brows, it's super quick and easy. I simply use Gimme Brow by Benefit. This is a tinted brow gel. I've got this in the shade 1. which is the lightest shade, and I literally will just, like, it's so simple. I say that and I almost fecked it up, like, that's so me. I will literally just brush this through my brows just to make it look like I actually give a feck about them. Not too much, just a little bit. I like to kind of brush the brows in the inner bit up to give me that kind of bushy brow look. I know this isn't a lot, and I know people would spend a long time on the brows, but again, for those reasons I mentioned earlier, trying to keep everyone in my household alive and make sure that everyone is ready for their day, I just don't have time to be like fecking about. So this is what I do for my eyebrows every day, and I think you can't see much difference between both brows, but over on this side it just looks a little bit more put together. I also like the fact that this is a tinted brow gel, so it uniforms the colour of my brows, because as you can see over here, we have a multifaceted brow. It's a rare breed of brow. We don't see them very often, only in insane individuals that insist on bleaching their eyebrows. So that's why I have like a very kind of yellowy blondie looking very strange eyebrow over here. I have tried other kind of brow gels, and the reason why I always come back to Gimme Brow is because of the tiny little wand. It just makes so much sense. Like, I don't know why other brands release brow products with a massive feck off wand, because let's face it, most people's brows are relatively small, and in order to get precision and in order to get like precision and in order to get precision, I'm not going to bother, I cannot pronounce that word obviously. In order to make sure that you can, do a neat job, a smaller brush definitely helps. Okay, so next we're going to do the eyes, and I'm going to be using the Mini Retro Eyeshadow Palette by Natasha Denona. I recently tried this palette and wow, was I impressed. You know, a lot of the time when there's like these iconic brands that get so much attention and everyone's kind of raving about them and they're really, really expensive, and you kind of think, oh, but are they really that good? Well, yes, like I've only tried this one palette by Natasha Denona, but I have to say it's brilliant quality. The mattes are so smooth and creamy and easy to blend and very pigmented. It's just so easy to work with, and the metallics are just so beautiful. At first I kind of wasn't convinced because I thought they were a little bit like underwhelming on the eye, but then I woke up and I saw the beauty of them. So the metallics just look like crushed diamonds. They look a little bit textured on the lid, like they're not super smooth, and a lot of metallics can look like liquid metal. Well, not these. These have a little bit more texture to them, which makes it look like you've got like crushed up gems on your lids. Okay, so the eyes are done. I know that you saw the process sped up, but in real time it took me less than 5 minutes to create the eye look. So next we're going to move on to mascara. I have already curled my eyelashes using eyelash curlers, so we're ready to go in with mascara, and this is going to come as no surprise to you if you've watched my channel before. I'm going to be using the Essence Lash Princess on the top lashes, and on the bottom I'm going to be using L'Oreal's Telescopic Mascara. So the reason that I use two different mascaras isn't because I'm just totally extra and OTT. No, it's because I love the Lash Princess. It gives volume, it gives length, it gives you life, and I love it on the top lashes. However, it does smudge like a bad boy, so I found that the Telescopic by L'Oreal doesn't smudge on the lower lashes. It dries down really, really fast and it just stays in place all day. So after I've applied my mascara, I never fail to do the finger technique. I think the finger technique is actually more effective than the eyelash curlers for giving you so much curl. So you want to do it about a minute after you've applied your mascara. Just let that mascara just dry a little bit. Go in with your little fingers, add some gentle pressure, push those lashes up, and honestly it makes such a huge difference. Okay, so I know that I said that the blush was kind of glowy and it doubled up as a highlight, which is true. I do have a personal belief that you can never be too glowy. So we are going to add my favourite highlighter, which again, if you've watched my channel before, I'm sure that you've heard me raving about this highlighter. So it's by Ofra and it's the Rodeo Drive. This is the perfect highlighter. It's universally flattering, like I think it would suit all different kinds of skin tones. It's a beautiful light gold kind of shade. It's just so gorgeous. So I'm just going to be applying this on the tops of my cheeks, the tip of my nose, the arch of my nose, just on my upper lip, and maybe a little bit on my chin for good measure. Okay, and to finish off the look, I am going to be using a new product by Maybelline. It's one that is new to my collection. Like, I've only used it a handful of times, but I really love this product. So hydrating, but very light. Like, it's not like your traditional lip gloss that feels kind of heavy and sticky. This feels like really light, but it just makes your lips look absolutely amazing. So I do really like this product, but there is one big negative, and that is with the application. It is quite pigmented, like it's got a kind of corally peachy kind of tint in there, and I do find that it does go on very streaky. You do have to like use your finger to finesse it, and I feel like it's not the best product for being on the go, because you do need a mirror to apply it. It's not one of those that you can just put on without a mirror and just like do your thing. You have to like, you know, spend a little bit of time just like finessing it, because it is pretty streaky. Also, I'm not a huge fan of the smell. It kind of has this really like overwhelming like coconut / vanilla smell. Sometimes I think, oh, it smells more of coconut. Other times I'm like, oh no, that's vanilla. Either way, I don't like it. Like, and it's quite overpowering. So you're probably sat there thinking, I'm to like, why do you even like this product? I do. I just think it's a bit high maintenance and I don't like the smell. So I would recommend this lip gloss, but just be prepared. It is a little bit high maintenance and it does have a scent that is extremely strong, overwhelming, and it doesn't go away after time. You may be sat there thinking, don't worry, it will probably fade away in a minute. It doesn't. Okay, so we've come to the end of the video, and this is my kind of go-to everyday kind of look. It's just so easy, but I feel like it looks like I made an effort. So if I'm going out doing something professional, holding a meeting with people, talking to contractors, putting up fire safe signage, like whatever it is I may be doing, it just adds a spring to my step because I've made an effort. Don't get me wrong, like most of my days are spent working from home in my skanky leggings, a top that I've worn for 5 days in a row, including at bedtime, that has multiple stains on it, probably some rabbit wee on it. That's usually like my look. But when I'm going out and about, I really like to make the effort because it's fun getting dressed up, and it definitely, like, for me anyway, it gives me a bit more confidence if I know that I look a bit better than I did before. You know what I mean? So anyway, guys, I really hope you enjoyed this video. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope to see you in the next one.